My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Aethermancer, where the party is absolutely popping off. We generate a bunch of how do we describe this really? I am really good at generating additional energy with each of my actions. I use those to do giant impacts damage against enemies, as well as giant heals against allies, and then those heals turn into additional damage at the end of the turn to all enemies. It's pretty good. I still feel like I need a couple things to tie this all together appropriately, but it's pretty good as is. Eloise, I'd love to upgrade your equipment. Hopefully the knight offers us the upgrade. I think the knight in the Garden District does. I think that's what they do. Trade in for epic equipment. No. Sorry, I wanted you to upgrade the equipment I have. I don't want to trade any of those in because the meteorite giving us additional wild energy generation is really damn important. Not uncommonly, it allows me to cast a healing beam on turn 1. Earth actions come with additional ether. Yay. Unfortunately, I don't have any earth to start with. So. Yeah, I'll drop an energy charm. Only one of them is even attacking this turn. Try and take as many free and... regen blooms is just good. As many free actions as I can really get my hands on. Yeah, heal all allies for 2x5. Lesson burn to all enemies. And this is basically played free because it generates an additional amber to have done it. Whoa. The enemy consuming that regen did a huge amount of damage to us. Okay, if I use 10 ether this turn, which I will. Then I'll do my Ether Breath against all enemies. Get some additional regen on Sorthil for the case of keeping the sidekick. So how exactly is that working here? Fast metabolism on attack. If the if the monster rather has 2 or more regeneration, apply Psychic to self, trigger regeneration on self, and then consume another regeneration stack. So it also helps us consume regeneration faster, which is relevant. But also, it will trigger when I do Sidekick. So Sidekick is an attack. It gives me back a Sidekick. I do another attack. I do another Sidekick. I do another sidekick. It gives me back sidekick. Cool. Frankly, I don't want two of you attacking this turn. I'm gonna just straight up shatter that backline Amit. Some burn for the enemies. Again, how does that burn turn into... Whenever a regeneration stack is consumed by an ally, consume a burn stack on an enemy to apply another regeneration stack to the ally. Eloise really needs many lives for when you apply regeneration, apply an additional regeneration. Like, it's so important. And we just, what, don't have it? So that additional weakness for you. One Blossoming Strike comes out. Huge amount of damage, but we also get to get huge healing off of it because the enemy used a bunch of weakness to hit me. Huge healing from the single energy charm there. I'm gonna go regeneration for all allies. And then set up Boiling Soup on Amit. Because that is going to explode this turn. When the Light Beam staggers them. Jeez, just enough damage to get through them. And then, as it turns out, we have enough damage to get through the other Amit on the bottom line. Honestly, we brought it back. We've brought it back. I'm not getting giant corruption every turn. So... 3x3 Wind Earth against enemy. Yeah. On interrupt, apply power to self. Yeah. Shield 2 for each power stack after that. Charge up, Psychic to self. No. You have free actions in Dust Grasp, and you also get enough Psychic, don't worry. Petal Storm. 2x5, Water Earth against all enemies, applies weakness to all enemies, and regeneration to all allies. I like that. Admittedly, I think I like it better than Cosmic Rush in a world where I already have a lot of access to Sidekick. I like Fire Fang just because it's a very cheap attack as well, though. But I also generate so much energy, maybe I don't even need to worry about that. I'll replace Cosmic Rush. Really want... Oh! I was about to say, I really want the next level for Eloise and Starspawn, because the aura here is going to matter. Experience Strikes. Cool. For every 2 age, apply Psychic to self. Psychic on this monster deals additional damage equal to the amount of age stacks on it. Honestly, way worse than I thought it was going to be. Void Burn. At the start of your turn, generate Wild Ether. At the end of your turn, consume Wild Ether and deal a 3 damage hit to this monster for each. That doesn't do much damage, if I'm honest. It gives me a bunch of additional ether, which, realistically, like, do I want to be using Light Beam at the start of the first turn? Sometimes. I'll take it for now. It's definitely better than not having it for right now. Unfortunately, a lot of turns, it will just be doming Starspawn. So that could be tough. Thank you for choosing Wind Ether. I'll happily drop Regeneration Bloom to set up a Light Beam. amount of healing, gives us a huge amount of sidekick. Yeah. I'll use Petal Storm for the stagger effect, the weakness on all enemies, the regen on allies. Yeah, that should be good enough. That bird went flying at the speed of sound. Could have sworn he came flying from the underground. If I bonfire... Yeah. If I bonfire, it will set us up with a light beam that will then kill everyone. Because it also triggers Ether Breath immediately afterwards, so everyone's staggered and also dead. God, the amount of sidekick triggers we're getting here, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, there you go, Petal Storm, why not? Louise, there's the level. Whenever power is applied to this monster. No. Heal each ally for 5. I mean, I do like that, but the problem is I have to get you power consistently before that's a good idea, and you'll get some. You only get power at the moment through regenerated prime, and you only get a third of the power that's given out by that. No. For every 3 fire ether consumed by allies, apply burn to all enemies. Honestly, I do have to admit, that would be a lot of burn application, and it would save me having to use bonfire. I'm gonna reroll. Ugh. Auto heal. On attack, heal the ally with the lowest health for 2 by 4. I'm going to take that just because we can get a lot of attacks courtesy of the sidekick. So those attacks are heals, those heals are sidekick, those sidekick are attacks, and then it loops back again. That's a shifted armor! Yep. Gimme the ship. There's a miracle! I have to. Ooh. Okay, first off, chromatic scroll break. I'm just gonna capture you next turn. I'll deal with everything else later. I want to use Fiery for this turn. There we go. Energy Charm for even more, then big ol' light beam. Top line, I do want Bonfire. Start staggering Minikala down there as well. Oh, I'm not going to be able to stagger Minikala at all. It's so annoying. It's just not going to live long enough for me to get him. It's fine. I get the shifted Amit. Tank, critical regeneration, earth, water. Yeah, it's fun. Happily energy charm. I don't unfortunately, there's very little way for me to deal with the rest of the party that doesn't end up also killing Minakawa, especially if Minakawa becomes the target for all of our sidekick attacks. That makes it a lot harder. Speaking of all of our sidekick attacks, we're still going. Good fights, though. Sorathil, this is your last aura. Hexing strikes. On attack, apply 2 weakness to target enemy and weakness reduction +1. If I go to I think I should... Weakness reduction +1, I think, is going to be really important for saving us from taking damage. I'm really good at giving weakness to my enemies already, though. I don't need that to trigger on attack. I'm already very likely to have the enemy far too weak for them to ever really get out from under it. Contagion, enemy's weakness is consumed, 50% chance of... I'm going to reroll here. Quicken. Interesting. Cosmic Hex. Consume all weakness on the enemy when you stagger an enemy with weakness to generate wild ether for each one. Absolutely not. It does a bunch of healing as well, though. I think if I take Quicken, then I can replace... I can just straight up replace Fast Metabolism. Replace a perk. Okay, so I need someone with a bad perk. Burn damage +1 means almost nothing to me. Eloise loses burn damage +1 to gain defense, damage, or ether. Give me ether again. I want to cast. I simply would like to cast. Purifying Boon, that's water. Wind Ether, that's wind, as it turns out. So no to the Ether Spring. There's a rare orb for additional ether. Don't need that. Debuff application applies additional debuff 20% of the time. Oh. On action, 33% chance to generate a random ether and damage +1. If I'm honest, pretty reasonable for Sorathil, to be honest. But I'm certainly leaning bonus experience until it's no longer reasonable. And then save the rest of my money. Is this Corruption Cleanse? Yeah, this is Corruption Cleanse. I'll come back to, oh my god, we actually might get Eloise down to 0 corruption before the end of the run. They literally said it was impossible. You know, big they. Ooh. Thank you for the gold. Huge. Is it huge or is it irrelevant? We'll see. I guess it really depends what the next merchant has. Okay. You want Earth from us? That's fine. I can do Earth. Yeah, I gotta use the basic attack when it generates that much ether. Especially because it sets up for a energy charm. Damn. Yeah. I'll Petal Storm as well. Gaining additional regen, using that additional regen to gain a sidekick stack. And then Light Beam. Wait, am I literally one? No, I'm not. I thought I was literally one Ember off of triggering Ether Breath this turn as well. 6 off. I am scared about how much damage the Amit can just suddenly do. We've got 4 regen on Sorathil. Sorry, 4 regen, 4 sidekick, and that literally just came out of Quicken. 15 healing from this monster gives us sidekick, and we heal whenever the enemy consumes a weakness. We heal for 3. Oh, that'll do. I'm gonna drop Regeneration Blue. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, it's probably optimal that happened in that order. Because now I can hit Boiling Soup on Amit, and I can stagger you after the Boiling Soup in order to deal a bunch of additional damage. Get him! Annoyingly, I'm not capable of taking out the enemy that's actually going to be attacking that. Oh, never mind. I forgot about my AoE hit at end of turn. I can't believe I forgot about my Blood Pact. That's the thing you're not supposed to do with a Blood Pact. Starspawn levels up. Void Lightning, 5x3 fire, wind against a single target, consumes a wild ether to apply power to self. Cleanse a target if it has no debuff, apply age to it, healing brew. If I'm honest, I think just the additional health is there. Better for you. Eloise gains an experience, sure. Feels like that experience is unlikely to be especially relevant. I know now that I've said that, by the end of the run, we're going to find exactly the reason that one experience mattered the most. It'll happen. Light Beam. Love to see all the additional sidekicking coming out. I mean, yes, Spore bottom line makes sense. And hell, I'll take the opportunity for a bonfire. It does a bunch of additional AoE damage at the end of the turn. That's fun, but realistically, I did that just for the burn, so I can use the burn to gain additional regeneration. Flame Skewer, that's a lot of damage. Still, it didn't even get us below half health. Half health is where I should really be considering, like, that's a lot of damage. Why must the sidekicks attack the low enemy? It keeps getting the enemy that I am already going to be killing. Buddy, I got that one. Oh, yeah. Did forget again that we were going to be killing him with the heal at the end of the turn. There you go. Firebolt him. 60's direct damage. Don't even need to worry about that. With a healing situation. Eloise! Applies 3 burn to a target enemy. Immersion. I mean, Stoke the Fire is fun. 3x3 fire damage against a target enemy. Generate Fire Ether for each burn stack on the target. But Immersion, apply 3 regeneration to a target ally, then trigger up to 10 regeneration stacks on them at once. If I had anyone who, like, benefits when they trigger a regeneration stack, yes. But I have people who are like, I'll trigger additional regeneration stacks in order to cause other benefits. But something that's literally just like... I guess this is a lot of healing. I can't replace any of those actions, though. No, that's plus max health again. A skull with wild conversion, initial sidekick. Not better than any of the rest of our equipment, unfortunately. Come on, witch. Fix my build. Fix my build. Oh! Wait. Yes! Shifted Hecatonchirus, and yes, I do have the ability to catch him. Beautiful. And this time I will. We'll throw a basic attack in there just for all the additional resources. Allowing me to follow up with an energy charm. Let's go some weakness for that. And hell, I'll give you even more weakness. Great. And then light beam for additional sidekick and additional free hits. you had the goal to summon a water lance at me. How dare you? Stagger should almost certainly come out this turn. I really do want the enemy burning already, though. Hell yeah. I apply the burn before Ether Breath triggers, which then staggers the enemy, dealing the burn damage to them on the stagger. And all the rest of the attacks continue for a while, and then Light Beam against a single target because of the amount of healing that it gives us. Triggers another hit. Hit. Keep that weakness going. I've got so much weakness on the enemy. Oh no, Eon Shield. The enemy managed to gain some age. Are you kidding me? It's showing me that I've, like, caught this. Yeah, I definitely don't have the other type of Hecatonchros. I guess it just doesn't look like it's got a glow around it when it does. Alchemical Charge, 3x12. Yeah, no, we'll survive that. That's fine. 3x12 ain't nothing. Damn, do I go Firebolts now instead? Maybe I should. Use a standard basic just to generate more for the Firebolt. Enemy's going to reset next turn, so yeah. It's way more damage. Bottom line, you want to take as many free attacks as is humanly possible, but not consume fire if you can avoid it. There we go, 108 damage directly from Firebolt. Granted, that did take all of our Ember. Phew. It could cause a problem on a future turn where I might need that Ember for something. I really do want to go Boiling Fire. Get the burn stacks on the enemy. It'll be a while before I can really trigger those burn stacks, unfortunately. Throw some Poise Break at you as well, because I'm otherwise having some difficulty. I think we're in a position where the basic attacks are pretty much the same as the non-basics, because most of the effect is not part of the attack, it's just part of everything else that's happening around the attack. Oof. Decent amount of damage from outgoing to charge. Thankfully, I get to heal after that. Enemy does their 100-handed as well. Even more weakness used, even more healing for me. Aethermancer Whip steals their ability to cast on the top line this turn, which is nice, especially considering they're doing AoE, which is quite annoying. And also this gets to follow up with 2 sidekick attacks. Don't really need more regen on allies. Just need to take more of these free actions. Unfortunately, the enemy's typing at the moment is some of the worst typing for me to really be able to stagger. Should be okay here, though. Enemy's got 1 AoE attack they're about to do, Burn Wave. Which hurts for sure. And then 100-handed shifted also hurts for sure, but thankfully we get to heal in the middle of the 2, and yeah, I'm unlikely to be able to stagger just against the enemy's wind here, unfortunately, but I might just be able to kill him straight. So that would come from generating additional ether. Specifically additional wild ether. I guess and fire as well. Firebolt's already almost lethal. Damage. Unfortunately, without the enemy weakened, it's only 81 damage. With them weakened, another 50% would have been really useful. I'm gonna Aethermancer Whip just to trigger more psychic attacks again, and maybe I can even get... Oh, right. I did forget. Yes, I am gonna get there. Even without this, I forgot about the Blood Pact again. Unfortunately, I did take a huge amount of corruption on Starspawn. Sorathil and Starspawn level up here. Interesting. Sorathil. Cleanse debuffs himself. No. I'm gonna take max health. Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. Void Burn is not essential. For every 100 healing of your allies, triggers once per combat, gives them 2 power. Yeah, once per combat. Gain aging. Yeah, gain aging. Yeah, both of those are quite slow. I'm going to re-roll here. For every 50 healing of your allies, generate a wild ether. That's about what Void Burn does. But I can take the +5 max HP instead of even having to get that. Boots. Epic equipment. Oh, wow. On action, 50% chance to apply regeneration. It does that twice. Unfortunately, I don't really benefit from the additional regeneration as much as I do from the meteorites. Okay, so... its fast metabolism is entirely unessential. Because I have better ways of gaining that sidekick now. Joint protection. Whenever an ally triggers sidekick, shield both attackers for 4. If I'm honest, yeah, that's apparently all of today I've been saying that as a catchphrase consistently. Apparently, I'm preparing myself against the possibility I'm just not being honest ever. Cosmic Hex. Whenever an enemy is staggered, there's a lot of wild ether that I don't need. Magnus hit. On attack, deal a hit with the total amount of power in the party. Not bad. It's just another hit that Sorothil gets to do, but it should be joint protection because I otherwise have no access to shielding. And it could help prevent us from suddenly exploding. God, there's so much. So much corruption on my guys. Staff, hit +1. Burn damage +1. Heal generator. Yeah. Blade, yeah. Shielding Dust and Hourglass of Undoing. Those are really good artifacts to be taking into the end here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to level anyone up here, so realistically I shouldn't even bother, but I'll buy it out. 25 corruption from all allies. All right. Let's do it. I think we've got this. Come on, Eloise. It's finally time. It's gonna happen. Leaving Sorothil free on the bottom line. It's Earth actions I need to commit this turn. Oh, you. But you've stolen Light Beam. Exactly the move that I want to use. I've got to start breaking these hands. Get him, Sorothil. Oh, wait, I just didn't have the resources for it, as it turns out. Okay, I should definitely still use Light Beam. It's way too impactful not to. And then top line, I'll go for the additional energy setup. Very slow first turn there, but as long as I get another Void Beam next turn, both the hands will be broke. And that's looking pretty good already. Unless you take the action I want. No, it doesn't look like it's locking actions anymore. That used to be like its favorite thing to do to me. What happened? Duskgrasp for the weakness. Gives us our setup for Light Beam. Broke your stupid hands, moron. More regen on all allies, and then some cooking burn stacks on the enemy seems really relevant here. I can cause an additional action from our top line there before using Boiling Soup. I'll tell you I expected Ether Breath that turn. Hey. Hey. Why is yours so healthy? I know it's because of the amount of corruption I had. Water. Regen Bloom gives us a bunch of additional energy. Drop an energy charm on the field as well, so that I can set up Light Beam. Still definitely got to throw Petal Storm out on the board. So many enemies. That's so much weakness and so much regen. The real annoying thing here is Doom Bloom and then the Thorn of Ages both going against the same target. But thankfully it's not that bad. Energy Charm for a little bit of health support. Definitely gonna Light Beam them. The sidekicks, if nothing else. Aethermancer Whip is not going to be able to steal away the important actions from that top line. Storm scores the stagger. I'm gonna take this opportunity to drop a Fire Charm and Bonfire for some additional burn. Thrilled about the amount of damage they intend to do this turn. It's scary, but it's not killing us. Could have killed us. That would have been scary. You took my firebolt! That's so annoying. I could actually stagger you directly right now if you gave me that firebolt back. Oh, that's probably why you don't want to. Okay, if you hit a hand, the main body gets the weakness, so I think boiling soup will work the same. No, it didn't. Thankfully, it also didn't consume the... at the same time. So I'm going to use a chromatic scroll to break that hand, so I don't have to worry about as much of this as possible. Thankfully, I still have one death denial. Which will be useful. Energy Charm helpfully sets up the Light Beam AoE for us. A Petal Storm breaks the hand, so we're all good on that. I mean, it's probably worth me just taking free actions consistently. There breaks the hand. I'm gonna go with an Aethermancer whip because at least then I know Starspawn's gonna die at the end of turn, so I don't have to worry. And then I'm gonna boiling soup. Chernobog. You've got 70 burn on you now. When you stagger, and you should, this would be pretty aggressive. Oh my god. 8 health left on Starspawn there by the end of that turn. Unfortunately, I'm not clearing the enemy's vulnerability they're applying to us, which is really tough. Oh, we are going to full stagger the enemy this turn, though. I want to get the enemy in stagger before I hit him with Firebolt. They're currently saying they're doing nothing at the end of this turn. I don't trust that. in order to make sure I still have stuff to spawn with next turn... Wait, 5, 5. Okay, actually... Heal all allies by 5 and cleanse their corruption by 5. Now I have no corruption on me. Then I will Firebolt. Then I direct damage, another 15 for the sidekick, another 17 for the second sidekick. And then I'll follow up by generating additional resources. At the end of my turn, so I don't start the next turn with just nothing to do. Okay, yeah, the stagger did allow us to skip that round. Great. You took my Firebolt. That's... devious. I really want that Fireball back. I can chromatic scroll it. Well, I guess if I really wanted, I could just throw the light beam. It's about the same damage. Okay, I should probably just use the light beam then. I want to shield all allies for 10 because I'm pretty threatened by the incoming here. Shield all allies for another 3. I don't think another 3 makes a difference. If 3 health would have made the difference, I'm going to be very sad about that. But look, I'll know what to change next time. Perfect. I'm pretty sure that was the last turn you get to play, buddy. On account of your whole 27 health situation. I'm pretty sure. I didn't have enough debuff cleanse for my allies, so I wasn't going to last one more round. Like, the enemy is at the point where they are just going to explode units on my board. Firebolts and sidekicks finishing them out, though. That's about as poetic as it gets. Great conclusion to what was an incredible run. It really felt like it was tooth and nail for the first area. The second area, things started to come together. Fights started to get a little bit quicker, but there was still a little bit of scary moments back and forth. And then the last time it became scary was in the very final fight, right before we won. A good plot there, I think. Unfortunately, we didn't catch Minakawa, but we did catch 2 shifted creatures, setting us up for the ability to try and look at one of them for the next run. Until then, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Aethermancer. Top left is the series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out of a thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Matthew. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.